Good morning and welcome to another newsletter wrap-up edition of AI versus Marshy. And I have to say, this is the best edition yet, number 20. And boy, do we have some doozies. But don't take my word for it. Just hear me talk through it. Scroll through other newsletters. Feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, I've got you with this video. So today we looked at another reason for saying AI is a threat. Not the existential threat that we talked about last week, but actually a commercial advantage. And we'll talk to what that means in a second. Tool of the week, a bit different. I get a bit more hands-on and show you how you can translate, use ChatGPT, translate a marketing sprint on post-its in action items. And the last bit, AI can scan your brain and guess what you're seeing now. So by this, Meta, who I pick on a bit in this newsletter, they do good things as well. And the case study or the research they released just last October, incredible. Cool. So actually an article from the AFR that came out recently and basically speaking to the former founder of Google Brain, Andrew Ng, and later led AI at Baidu. And he basically says the AI is an existential threat. Narrative is a bit flawed because it's big tech telling you this, and they're like, quick, regulate. But in the meantime, they're accelerating towards a stronger and more deeper advantage that by the time regulation comes through, they've already got their moat. No other competitors or other organizations can catch up because the regulatory framework is too watertight. And so the article sort of talks through how that is. This is quite a common approach in tech. Uber's quite famous for moving into other markets and basically breaking the law until the law caught up with them, but by then they're already established. And so blitz scaling is the term that sort of is thrown around that sort of captures that stuff. There was a really good lecture from the Center of AI and Digital Ethics out of the University of Melbourne Law School recently. Unfortunately, it wasn't recorded, but talked about the corporate culpability at big tech. And I think in Australia, at least, the legal fraternity is starting to, put their hand up and say, hey, this stuff's not okay. Like, there's a recent Senate inquiry this year that talked to the harms of what big tech and the lack of regulation is happening. On the other side, though, lawyers pushing for more regulation is exactly what, say, a big tech company wants because they're already speeding ahead in this area. So watch this space. Pretty exciting to see. Personally, I was very convinced when I saw Sam Altman say that the OpenAI is trying to help the planet here. It was very persuasive. But just because I'm persuaded, it doesn't mean it's the same as being true. So let's watch this space. Cool. Something different with my tool section today. So I walked through, Post-it. I've de-identified a marketing sprint I did earlier in the year, basically and chuck it into ChatGPT. Because of its image recognition capabilities now, you can turn all that into a list of action items. And then I can get it to put some time estimates against it. Or I could even say which of these tasks are good for a virtual assistant. So pretty good for solopreneurs like this guy. Cool. So Meta, I did pick on them a few times in this newsletter. Hey, they're doing some amazing things. I love their open source and they've released some research last month that's pretty wild. So let me try and explain this. They scan your brain while you're looking at images and then using machine learning in a feedback loop can predict what it is you're looking at. And as you can see from the preview gift there, it's getting kind of accurate. And so the goal, I think, from what the research says, is to get this to real time. I'm trying to think of the use case, kind of mind-bending, but if you're struggling to wrap your head around it, here's it in even simpler terms. Machine scans your brain and sees what you're seeing. Like, that's cool. That's it for this newsletter wrap-up. Last week I was in Sydney. I spoke on a panel for SANE. Recording's not up yet, but I'll let you know when it is. And I'm doing a bit of reflection on what I want to do next year. I love the consulting and we'll keep working on interesting projects, but I can feel the purpose muscle growing and we'll see where it goes. I guess one of the benefits I have by being a consultant is that I can, feed the family and keep working on things in this method while buying the time to see what's out there and perhaps work with a team or something bigger. Take care, have a good weekend, be safe, and hope you're enjoying these videos. And if not, subscribe to the newsletter. And if not, what are you watching till now for? Bye.